Thank you, Dr. Sangarula. By the way, there is no mismatch between being a Marxist and being educated in the United States. I know you know. US education system does a lot of brainwashing for the purpose of manufacturing consent, so that people can support capitalist system without questions. People can support ruthless exploitations and bombardment of other countries without questions. But there are exceptions. Okay? Yeah, I have been informed by some sources that Comrade Dev Gurung is on the way. And I'm not sure how, when will he arrive here. Therefore, Dev Gurung being absent for now, I would like to request Huang Zhengduo. If I pronounce your name correctly, you should thank me. If I made some mistakes, forgive me. Okay? So your name is very difficult for us. So Huang Zhengduo, to share your analysis, thoughts, and facts, and suggestions, and whatever you have.
Namaste. And Mero Nam Hongjindo Ho, and Mero Gar China Ho. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, I would like to show my great gratitude for the foundation of peace and development and socialism to invite me to participate in this dialogue. And also, it is my great pleasure to sit together with the professor, the chairperson of Professor Prasai, and also Dr. Bimrawa, and Mr. Pandi, and also Mr. Biplava, and Professor Yubarachi and Sangarona, and to sit together and have a presentation. And yes, it is my great pleasure. And today, my presentation is about the MCC Compact geopolitical game under the Indo-Pacific strategy and its impact on Nepal. And first, I just want to share what is the introduction of a geopolitical agenda beyond economic aid. And today, I'm here aim to provide an analysis of the MCC's compact signed between the United States and Nepal. So superficially, it is a 500 millions economic aid project. It might improve Nepal's energy and transportation infrastructure. However, its essence is far more complex. And the agreement is deeply embedded within the grand framework of U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy, carried significant geopolitical intentions to counter China and reshape the regional landscape. So my presentation will focus on this essence, analyzing its strategic motives and implementations mechanism and potential far-reaching impacts on Nepal's sovereignty and national interests. And next, I just want to share the nature and the linkage of MCC and US. What is the MCC, the compact? I think everybody knows more about that. It's funded by US grant of 500 millions Nepal government, and funded increased from the 130 millions to 197. And this project is supposed to focus on the road upgrades and electricity transportation lines, construction of these lines. And also this state, the goal is increase the electricity availability, lower transportation costs to promote investment, growth, and poverty reduction. What is the Indo-Pacific strategies? That is U.S. national security strategy, which was proposed by Trump. in 2017, Trump administration ended the Indo-Pacific rebalance strategy, and soon after he took office as the Prime Minister, he provided this proposal of an Indo-Pacific strategy. And also, as the Biden administration upgraded this strategy, and its core objectives of maintaining U.S. hegemony in the Indo-Pacific regions. What is his measures about the building political building alliance interfere in China's internal affairs and economically, and isolating China in supply chains through the mechanism like the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, and military, of course, and increasing deployment bases and exercises to contain and deter China. And I think the MCC and the Indo-Pacific strategy has a deeply relationship. And MCC is a policy tool for the IPS, and it has the strategic alignment, deeply integration exists between the MCC and IPS. And also there is a official endorsement. U.S. Assistant Secretary of State and runs explicitly started in 2019 that the MCC project in Nepal is a part of the U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy, and directly link economic aid to the strategic goals of countering China. And next, I just want to share the U.S. strategic intentions and implementation means. And I think the first is that the geostrategic layout. And MCC clauses stated it shall prevail over Nepal's domestic law, and U.S. personnel are not subject to the Nepalese jurisdiction, severe undermining Nepal's legislative and judicial sovereignty. And also there are some security concerns. And the project location in the U.S.-Nepal joint military training in the Mustang district raised deep concern within the Nepal about MCC being used for military purposes, serving the IPS and strengthen the regional security. And also next is just like a dual regulation, coordinating and utilizing India. In the implementation must reportedly subject to the obtaining India's consent, in which not only infringed on Nepal's sovereignty, but also revealed U.S. strategic calculation co-opting India. Yes. Okay. And yes, next is co-opting India as a key IPS partner against China, while subtle balance and regulating India's influence to serve U.S. interests. And I think this next is that 2.3 integrating Nepal into the IPS system multidimensionally. I think economically strengthening Nepal-India economic integration through the transmission line and road upgrades, reducing Nepal's economic reliance on China, pulling it into the U.S.-led economic system. And also military is also some measures, just like seeking joint training exercises and logistical support by the try to through the framework like the state partnership, yes, SPP, yes, M2, establish a military presence to monitor China's Tibet and support the U.S. regional security architecture, and also the politically and fostering and supporting the pro-U.S. political forces within Nepal through aid and political maneuvering influence its domestic and foreign policies towards the U.S. and India, attempting to alter Nepal's traditional distance diplomacy and non-alignment policy. And next, I just want to share the potential impacts and consequences for Nepal. And in period national sovereignty and diplomatic independence, yes. And I think this MCC and is extra legal privileges and exclusive U.S. control over the auditings directly challenge Nepal's sovereignty, and also been incorporated into the IPS explicitly aimed at countering China would force Nepal to choose sides, losing diplomatic flexibility and independence, intangibly entangling it in major power competition, and also exacerbated domestic political divisions and social strifes. And the ratification process caused significant political discord and widespread public protest, and widely viewed as an unequal trait leading to intense bargaining and even threatening government stability. And also there are some social confrontation, deep political fractures, and street protests intensify the social contradictions, hindering the formulation and implementation of crucial future policies. And next is economic benefit and long-term risks. And we see that MCC is 500 million, and also can provide a short-term gains and the potential for short-term infrastructure improvement and electricity export revenues, but that will be long-term risks, and strengthening economic reliance on India, contradicting the goal of economic autonomy. And also there are some hidden costs, and grants projects may incur the high terms of maintenance and technology upgrade cost, becoming a fiscal burden for Nepal. And also the uneven benefits, economic benefit might flow more to U.S. and India-linked enterprises rather than the genuinely benefiting local Nepalese industry and communities. And the next I just want to share is that the deteriorating security environment in risk of military influx. MCC's destination as part of the IPS could facilitate the entry of U.S. military and security forces into Nepal under various pretexts. And also, it is harmful for regional instability. Nepal's involvement as a front in U.S. military strategy would disrupt the existing regional security balance, causing serious concern and potential countermeasures among the neighboring countries. And the next is my conclusion that Nepal's dilemma in strategic games and successful drawing Nepal into the IPS via the MCC represents a significant advance in its geopolitical layout, gain a potential foothold for monitoring China, balance India, and shape the strategic landscape of South Asia. But for Nepal, in the is short term, yes, access to much needed infrastructure funding, but from long run, face severe challenges and significant threats to its national sovereignty, diplomatic independence, political stability, and economic autonomy in the security environment caught in a major power competition. Nepal risks losing autonomy and ultimately suffering diminished national interests. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Huang, Zhengduo, for your timely presentations and sharing your analysis, thoughts, and facts.